2020 is thankfully nearly over, and many will be ringing in the new year wishing for a better year ahead. But the pandemic is overshadowing celebrations tonight. Canadians are facing restrictions like never before and the tough reality that we still have a long road to recovery. Here's a look at why the numbers are so worrying. Canada is seeing a sharp surge in infections, averaging around 6,000 new cases per day. They're largely driven by the two biggest provinces. Quebec reported a record number of single-day infections, and Ontario shattered its previous high, reporting more than 3,000 new cases. ICU admissions also reaching a pandemic record in Ontario. Premier Doug Ford is among the leaders facing growing pressure to curb the crisis. Today, his finance minister stepped down hours after arriving home from a Caribbean vacation that went against pandemic guidelines. Travis Dhanraj is following the developing details in our top story tonight.
The walk of shame through Pearson International Airport for a politician who clearly knows he did wrong. But Rod Phillips' mea culpa?
A significant error in judgment, a dumb mistake.
Was not enough to save his job as Ontario's finance minister. Premier Ford releasing a statement Thursday afternoon. Today, following my conversation with Rod Phillips, I have accepted his resignation as Ontario's Minister of Finance. At a time when the people of Ontario have sacrificed so much, today's resignation is a demonstration that our government takes seriously our obligation to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Very, very difficult.
The optics of a jet-setting finance minister on a 2.5-week-long pleasure trip, only returning to a province he helped put into lockdown after the story became public, clearly became too much for the Premier to manage.
I can tell you I'm very upset.
He could have put a stop to it a couple of weeks ago. Instead, he chose to basically help Rod Phillips keep the secret that he was out of the country. And the only reason that we're dealing with this now is because they got caught.
The optics are horrible. And I don't know what the finance minister was thinking going off to an island vacation where the rich and famous go to play while we're in the middle of a crisis.
So after losing his cabinet position, drawing the ire of Ontarians, and drawing international attention, what now for Phillips?
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes errors in judgment. This was a pretty big one. But if he wants a future in politics, I think he did the only thing that he could do.
That future remains unclear right now. One thing that is clear, when it comes to the big decisions for Ontario, Rod Phillips will be watching from the backbenches. Travis Dhanraj, Global News.